opportunity to be in this cathedral, of something that happened to me in Colombia while I was keeping up that changed. I was born in Colombia. In towns they had 15 and 18 children.
Svi moje tetke, ujaci i stričevi su imali po 15 djece.
We were like a tribe.
Bili smo kao pleme.
I had a pretty happy childhood.
Imao sam vrlo sretno djetinjstvo.
When I was 14 years old, I was sent to Bogota, the capital of Colombia.
Kad sam imao 14 godina, poslali su me u Bogotu, glavni grad Kolumbije.
And those were the 1960s.
Bile su to 60. godine prošloga stoljeća.
As a teen,
vrijeme bili smo suočeni sa potom za pobačaj.
Into Western Christianity and lost my Catholic faith.
Izgubio svoju katoličku vjeru.
When I was 20 years old, I got married in Bogota.
S 20 godina sam se oženio u Bogoti.
And moved to Germany, to the city of Hamburg.
I odselio u Njemačku, u Hamburg.
And there I studied at the University of Hamburg Arts.
Na tom sveučilištu u Hamburgu studirao sam umjetnost.
And my two sons were born there.
I ovdje su mi rođena dva sina.
After close to 7 years, I moved to Los Angeles, California.
Poslije gotovo 7 dekadentnim životom.
All this is
praksama New Age-a.
With a complete decals and
propali vrijednostima, moralom.
I made a lot of money.
Zarađivao sam mnogo.
I was able to do whatever I wanted.
Mogao sam raditi što god sam htio.
But it wasn't until 1997.
Ali tek 97.
When I went to Colombia during Christmas.
Kada sam otišao pred Božić u Kolumbiju.
That my whole life was changed.
Se moj život potpuno promijenio.
That Christmas was a pretty sad Christmas in my family.
Bio je to vrlo tužan Božić u mojoj obitelji.
Within the 5 years prior to that Christmas,
tijekom 5 godina prije toga Božića,
5 dear people of my family had passed away.
Preminulo je 5 dragih članova moje obitelji.
First, my wife
poginuo u jednoj nesreći
because I believed in reincarnation.
Jer sam ja tada vjerovao u reinkarnaciju.
And my sisters believe in resurrection.
A moje su sestre vjerovale u uskrsnuće.
Two very different things.
Postoji golema razlika između toga i toga.
So one of my sisters invited me to go to church to pray the Divine Infants Christmas Novena.
Jedna me sestra zamolila da idem s njom u crkvu.
Since I didn't walk into a Catholic church.
A toga Božića navršilo se 3 godine da ni
the baby Jesus will grant him a grace.
On ovu deveticu bude predano molio, mali će Isus dati milosti.
And since I was an opportunist,
a budući da sam ja bio oportunist,
a worldly person,
osoba ovoga svijeta,
I said to myself, maybe I can get something out of this.
Rekao sam sebi, a možda i ja mogu ovdje nešto profitirati.
So I asked the baby Jesus to change my life.
Pa sam zamolio maloga Isusa da mi promijeni život.
But obviously the change of life I was asking him wasn't spiritual.
Ali ja jasno nisam tražio nikakvu duhovnu promjenu života.
It was only material.
Samo materijalno.
But you probably know the novena begins on the 16th December,
Devetnica počinje 16.
through the gate of the ranch,
Dok sam ulazio kroz vrata toga velikog ranča,
6 rebels from the FARC rebels of Colombia jump out of the woods.
Dakle, iz grmlja je iskočilo 6 pobunjenika, te pobunjeničke kolumbijske vojske.
With machine guns and kidnapped me.
Sa strojnicama i kidnapirali su me.
They tie my hands in the back and put a hood over my head.
Svezali mi ruke na leđima i stavili mi kapuljaču na glavu.
That was the beginning of the plan that God had to change my life.
To je bio špilj.
So 6 months.
Ukupno sam 15 dana.
They will take me out of the cave once a day to feed me.
Jednom dnevno su me izvodili iz špilje da nešto pojedem. Sam postao sve slabiji i sve očajniji.
On the day 15 after I had a meeting with the guerrillas that came to pick me up,
Dakle, 15. dana nakon što sam upoznao te gerilce koji su me došli preuzeti,
I had an experience with the Lord in that cave that night.
Te noći u toj špilji sam imao iskustvo s Gospodinom.
That is the reason why
To je tijekom 3 godine.
I could see myself in the inside patio of the house where I was born in my hometown.
Vidio sam sebe na unutarnjem dvorištu moje kuće u kojoj sam rođen.
I was on a tricycle with a stick in my hand,
Bio sam na triciklu sa jednim štapom u ruci.
going around the patio, hitting the plants and the flowers.
Vozao se po tome dvorištu i štapom udarao po cvijeću i biljkama.
I was perfectly reliving my life.
Savršeno sam ponovno proživljavao svoj život.
I continue on reliving my life.
I dakle, to proživljavanje moga života se nastavilo.
I was 47 years old that night.
Te sam noći imao 47 godina.
I think I went because when my mother was dying,
Jer kad
all life,
govorila je zapravo
consequences of my sins,
počeo sam osjećati posljedice svojih grijeha.
I began being aware of sin again.
Počeo sam biti svjestan svojih grijeha.
And it was so painful.
I bilo je to tako bolno.
I could never describe it to you.
Ne bih vam to mogao nikada opisati.
Everything I'm going to describe to you
Sve što ću vam sada prenijeti,
happened all at once.
sve se dogodilo odjednom.
But the only way I can present it to you and land it materially
Ali ja vam to mogu predstaviti
is if I break it down into like chapters
samo ako to podijelim na dijelove.
against the grass.
Na jednom tada nisam osjetio.
I looked ahead of me
Pogledao sam naprijed
and I could see another mountain even higher.
i vidim još jednu planinu, još višu.
And on top of that mountain I could see a mist like a fog.
Na vrhu te planine bila je nekakva magla
And that fog began to fade away.
koja se počela nestajati, gubiti.
And the most amazing city of light appeared.
A pojavio se nevjerojatan, prekrasan grad svjetla.
And even though it was so far away from me,
Iako je taj grad bio jako daleko od mene,
I could perfectly see it.
savršeno sam ga vidio.
And I knew right away
On
make it.
ali u tome nisam uspio.
And when I looked to see that it was the voice of the Lord,
da je to Isusov glas.
Even though I had been away so long from the church,
Iako sam tolike godine bio daleko od crkve,
even though I had been worshiping so many false gods,
iako sam cijelo to vrijeme štovao i klanjao se mnogim lažnim bogovima,
when I heard his voice, I knew it was him.
kada sam čuo njegov glas, znao sam da je to.
Since I knew the state of my soul,
Budući da sam znao u kakvom je stanju moja duša,
his voice was so immense with love and compassion
njegov je glas bio tako pun ljubavi i
that I was filled with shame because I was.
taj svoj sram, nego me je podigao, pregržao me.
And I could see all these years that I have been away from him.
I gledao sam sve nama ovdje.
Not He chose me for his church.
On me odabrao za njegovu crkvu.
And he said the Catholic Church is his church.
Rekao je da je katolička crkva njegova crkva.
And he explained to me about my mission as a Catholic,
Opisao mi je moje poslanje kao katolika,
which is our mission as Catholics.
a to je zapravo naša misija nas katolika, poslanje nas katolika.
He took me back as far as Abraham,
Odveo me natrag sve do Abrahama
and he showed me the amazing sacrifices. He began to show me the battle between good and evil during our life.
Pokazivao mi je bitku između dobra i zla koja se događa u našem životu.
And he showed me how clear the teachings of our church are.
I pokazao mi je koliko su jasna učenja naše crkve.
How Jesus left a perfect map for us to make it home.
Kako nam je Isus ostavio savršen zemljovid po kojemu možemo doći u nebo.
And how easy we let ourselves be seduced by this
I
world.
kako mi lako dopuštamo da nas zavede ovaj svijet.
He showed me how this earthly life
Pokazao mi je kako ovo zemaljski život
is just the beginning of an eternal journey.
je samo početak jednog vječnog putovanja.
And we are given as Catholics. And he showed me how deliverance.
To je kao oslobođenje.
And it's the perfect preparation for the greatest gift of all, that is the Eucharist.
To je najveća priprema za najveći dar na svijetu, a taj dar je Euharistija.
He showed me that the reason why Jesus, right when he resurrected,
Dakle, pokazao mi je zašto je Isus
right when he resurrected,
odmah nakon što je uskrsnuo,
he appeared to the apostles
ukazao se apostolima
and blew the Holy Spirit to them
i udahnuo im Duha Svetoga.
because they didn't have the Paraclete yet.
Do tada rješenja
We needed to be able to keep his friendship.
i da nam je taj sakrament potreban kako bi
That sacrament is so hated by Satan
on kaže da je taj sakrament, da Satana tako mrzi taj sakrament
because he can't stand it, a repentant sinner.
On ne može podnijeti griješnika koji se pokaje.
Because he humiliates before another human being. The way the Lord showed it to me,
Način na koji je to Isus pokazao,
because the moment the priest raises the hand,
jer onog trenutka kada svećenik podigne ruku,
and gives us the absolution in the name of the church.
I daje nam odrješenje u ime crkve.
All demons flee.
Svi demoni bježe.
And it's like a cleansing, a deliverance.
To je kao čišćenje, kao pročišćenje.
So he took me to the mystery of the Eucharist.
Onda me uveo u tajstvo Euharistije.
It is so large, I couldn't tell you everything he told
To
me.
je tajstvo toliko golemo, ne bih vam mogao sve
But in short, there is nothing ever bigger than the Eucharist.
Rekao mi je da ništa, nikada ne postoji, niti će postojati već toga dana i noći.
There is a host going up in consecration.
Da, hostija biva
And that host if it wouldn't be because the devil would have destroyed this world.
đavao bi već razorio ovaj svijet.
Better to say would have destroyed humanity.
Znači, bolje rečeno, uništio bi cijeli ljudski rod.
So every time we come to communion,
Dakle, svaki put kada dolazimo na pričest,
we turn into real vessels of the biggest miracle.
postajemo prave posude najvećega čuda.
And the Lord does immense miracles through us.
I Isus po nama čini golema čuda.
Every single Catholic,
Svaki katolik,
regardless how insignificant you think your life is,
bez obzira koliko vi mislite da je vaš život beznačajan,
is a gigantic instrument of God on earth.
je divovska posuda Božja na zemlji.
Just to be because hands in front of me.
Ispred su nosili Gospu.
And all of a sudden, Our Lady was walking,
I na jednom je Gospa počela hodati.
carrying two children by the hand,
I vodila dvoje djece zajedno.
one on each side.
Sa svake strane po jednom.
And the child on the right side was me at age 7.
I to dijete na
Played the trumpet during the processions of Holy Week and different religious events in my town.
I anđeo mi je,
All of those years that I was in sin.
dakle, to vrijeme dok sam tako bio, tako radio,
The angel was showing to me something
duši.
the joyful.
I bili bismo presretni.
We will love him so much.
Neizmjerno bismo ga voljeli.
All of a sudden, the rock was filled with a light, a gigantic light.
Na jednom je ta stijena bila puna nekog prekrasnog golemog svjetla.
And I realized that light was the same light I saw on top of that mountain of that city of light.
I shvatio sam da je to svjetlo, isto ono svjetlo koje sam vidio na vrhu one druge planine gdje je bio onaj grad svjetla.
And right away I knew that light was Jesus.
I odmah sam znao da je to svjetlo Isus.
See, trying to look.
Tada nastojao stalno
In that light.
i zapravo sam onda vidio Gospodina u tome svjetlu.
The first thing I saw were his eyes.
Prvo sam vidio oči.
And I could see through his eyes
Vidio sam kroz njegove oči.
an incredible dimension inside him.
Nevjerojatne dimenzije.
I could see my whole life,
cijeli svoj život sam vidio,
all of humanity.
cijelo čovječanstvo.
I could see all of his promises, everything he has told us.
Sva njegova obećanja, sve što nam je rekao.
Everything was there in his eyes.
Sve je to bilo u njegovim očima.
The Lord sent me back,
Zatim me Isus poslao natrag.
and I came off the ecstasies
Izišao sam iz te ekstaze
and found myself conscious of being in the cave again.
i opet ga je Isus.
That purgatory does exist. God for us.
A ono je najveći djelo milosrđa Božjega prema nama.
And that if we only knew what awaits us
Da bismo samo znali što nas čeka
in Jesus,
po Isusu,
we will be so happy.
bili bismo presretni.
No suffering in this life. No suffering
Nikakvo trpljenje u ovome životu
will make any difference because after what I saw,
jer nakon onoga što sam vidio,
this world lost all.
krive u evanđelju vlastitim životom.
I him sometimes.
I ponekad ga i dalje viđam.
And the reason why this happened to me,
A razlog zbog kojega se ovo meni dogodilo,
even though I have been the worst sinner you can ever imagine,
iako sam bio najgori griješnik kako možete zamisliti.
it is because of God's mercy.
Dakle, razlog je jedino Božje milosrđe.
He picks people like me
Bog odabire ljude poput mene
and does what he did
i čini s njima ono što je napravio sam,
to show us how much he loves us.
samo da nam pokaže koliko nas ljubi.
The love of God for us is so immense.
Božja ljubav prema nama tako je Bog.
We could only figure it out.
Kad biste mogli ljubiti od sreće. Je s nama uvijek.
And you will continue living.
Nastavit ćete živjeti,
A life you will continue living
a život koji ćete tada živjeti
is so precious.
tako je dragocjen.
That's why I'm saying no suffering in this life
I zato kažem da nikakvo trpljenje, nikakva patnja u ovom životu
matters.
nije važno.
We need to be holy
Moramo biti sveti,
because only saints make it to heaven.
jer samo sveci dolaze u nebo.
And it is possible to be holy
A moguće je biti sveti,
because God will help us.
jer će nam Bog u tome pomoći.
All we need to do is to decide to be holy.
Samo moramo, na nama je samo da odlučimo da ćemo biti sveti.
You know, a husband that is faithful to his wife
Znate,
so a Christian that is faithful to God
dakle, kršćanin koji je vjeran Bogu,
it is worth it.
isplati se.
And we better prepare for what is coming.
I trebamo se pripremiti za ono što dolazi.
May the Lord bless you all.
Neka vas sve Bog blagoslovi.